So 5 years ago, I was on deployment in the Navy, 6,000 miles away, and I got put in charge. I'd never been in charge before. I'd never been in charge of anything. I'd been in the Navy at that point for like 10, 11 years. I'd never been in charge. This is the first time me being a first class. First classes are in charge, and so I was made the LPO. And it was a stressful time. Like I said, I was 6,000 miles away from home. And so I didn't adjust well. And I had a boss that really was hard to work with. Counting my chief, I had 2 bosses that were really hard to work with. I started having these crying spells. I would just burst into tears, and instead of taking care of that or say what's wrong or whatever, it was, oh man, go hide yourself, right? Go hide so that nobody sees this first class, this person crying. So I did. And as the weeks went by, I didn't get any better at my job, and the stress kept mounting. And eventually, one day, I had a near suicidal breakdown. And I went into a treatment program that took me out of my division. And I was working with the librarians, which is what they do when they don't know what to do with you. When you can't do your job, they let you work with the librarians. So I was working with the librarians, and I was going to treatment. And still on deployment, working through all this stuff. Found out that I had been dealing with undiagnosed depression for probably, 20 years. And so I just became this depression guy. I tell everybody that I had depression, that I was dealing with depression, helping people with depression. I just sort of fell into this coaching role. Wherever I was always on the lookout to see if I could help somebody. And one day, it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm walking to the back of the ship, and I was on a carrier, so there's 2 galleys on a carrier. There's the front of the ship where there's the galley, and that's kind of where everybody hangs out. Even when there's no food being served, people hang out there. It's kind of like a social place. And then there's the aft side where the bunks are, where we sleep. So I'm headed back to my rack, my bunk, and I look over, and there's just one dude that's just sitting there. And I'm about to pass him. Something in my brain is like, something's wrong. Something's wrong there. So I go over there and what's going on? And he's just talking to me, It's like, I'm a new sailor, I'm not making any friends. I'm from New York, and, the ship is berthed in San Diego, and he's telling me all these different things. And I'm just responding, He sounds like a typical new sailor, all these, different stress, new in the Navy. And so I'm like, don't worry, man, you're gonna make friends, just be yourself, and, just all this stuff that just seems like nothing. It's because I don't really understand, why is he having such a problem with, because it doesn't sound like none of it's that big a deal. But I help him. We talk for an hour. And I'm like, okay, are you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. So I go to my rack, and I see him every once in a while. And it's like, hey man, what's going on? He's a cook, so I don't really see him much. I'm up in CIC or whatever. So eventually he leaves. And I don't really pay attention to the fact that he leaves, he just leaves. And one day, a year later, he comes back to the show. And as I'm doing most of the time as a sonar tech on a carrier, I'm cleaning, to do a lot of cleaning. And he comes up to me and he's talking to me and he's like, just wanted to tell you how much it meant, how far down I was, how did you saved my life. And I had known, like I said, I just was talking to him and helped him out. It's like, thank you. Now, let me tell you, in the Navy, once you leave a ship, you're usually done with that ship for multiple reasons. So the fact that he came all the way back to find me and tell me, as you can tell, it kind of made me a little emotional there. And why am I telling you this? Because I don't want you to do what I did, which is spend all these years of your life not living the quality of life that you actually want. Whether it's depression, whether it's anxiety, whatever it is, turn toward it and figure out what you want to do about it. Don't be like me, like just ignoring and pretending, and truthfully, don't be like many people, just ignoring and pretending and just settling for life, just existing through life. I want you to live life, the life that you truly want. That's why I'm telling you this. Because I want you to live the life that you truly want. From the day that that guy told me, right up until today, that's what I want. For you just to live 1% closer to the life that you truly want every day. Because if you live just 1% closer every day to the person that you really want to be, the life that you really want to live, then you make the world just a little bit better every day. I don't want you just existing. I want you living. So I encourage you to do that.